Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Beer Fueled Fantasy Football. Hopefully you guys are feeling okay this morning. Hopefully you are ready for your playoffs or your last regular season matchup, depending on how your season does your schedule. I'm at Nick Sparts. To my left, we're joined by Christopher Hopper.
At Hot BFF with 2Ps. How y'all doing? See, we've got some of the normal participants in the chat already. Dylan, Alex, Jake, good to see you.
Dylan saying he might have lost us in his time of greatest need. No, we're still here. We'll be with you.
Nope. We're as long as you don't play till week 17. If you play in week 17, then
you're on your own.
You probably lost us.
But yeah, not week 14. We're still going hard here. Get those questions rolling in here. We're going to talk some news that's broken. Go ahead and go over some of the weather reports, let you know if there's anything to look out for, and just make sure you guys are all ready for your week 14 kickoffs and try to get you one more win and get you to week 15. Starting off with some of the news, though, we got conflicting reports on James Conner's status for Week 15. Schefter's reporting that he has a chance to return next week, whereas Rappaport saying he probably does not. So, as usual, the injury prognosis is mixed across the board.
A little murky.
So, make sure you have a Week 15 option for James Conner. If you can make it to your title game in Week 16, he should be available then, based on what I'd expect. Keeping with the Steelers news, Jalen Samuels is going to be getting the majority of the carries against the Raiders. This doesn't really surprise me. When they said they were doing a back by committee, was odd because the Steelers have literally not done that during Mike Tomlin's tenure. It's always one guy.
Yeah, it is. Hey, couple of questions rolling in already. Big Ben or Dak Prescott and half PPR. Not that I appreciate the scoring. I don't know that either are catching passes.
Not enough to make me change my answer.
Right. Big Ben for me.
Yeah, it's Roethlisberger for sure. Prescott is so running touchdown dependent. He scored rushing touchdowns in 5 of his last 7 games, but if he doesn't score them, he's a low quarterback too.
Yep, and we discussed it on Friday, but with the Raiders defense, even though Ben isn't going to throw a ton against them, they're giving up a ton of touchdowns. He's going to throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns before they just lean on the running game.
Yeah, they're giving up the most in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
All right, up next, Alex wants to know Giants defense against the Redskins or Lions defense against the Cardinals.
I would probably take the Giants defense against the Redskins. They're down offensive linemen. They're using Mark Sanchez as their quarterback. It's ugly for them.
Yeah, there's a lot to be concerned about there. My only real concern with the Giants is they have lost a few pieces. They no longer have Harrison, so the running game might be an option for the Redskins to get some points, and they're missing Landon Collins. So that's kind of my only concern there, is them missing some pieces on the defensive side. But the pass defense has been very, very good this year, limiting touchdowns. So at the very least, I don't expect the Redskins to get a ton of points in this game, and I expect it to be pretty low scoring overall.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going Giants. Whereas the Lions defense just gives me no faith that they can do anything at this point. All right, continuing on some of the news here. T.Y. Hilton has kind of been in will he, won't he all week. It sounds like he is going to go against the Texans. We'll get the official and accurate reports here in the next 15, 20 minutes. But it sounds like you should have Hilton. They're missing Inman. They're missing Mo Alley Cox. So he's going to be in line for a lot of work today.
Yep.
All right. Want to talk at all about who won the Heisman Trophy last night?
Kyler?
Kyler won it and said he's not going to even enter the NFL draft. He's going to go play baseball.
It's a smart move, really, from a longevity standpoint, from a health standpoint, from a monetary standpoint. He's already got a $5 million contract with the A's in place. So it is a smart move for Kyler Murray to go play baseball. There was a report earlier yesterday that said that he would try to do both, but that's been debunked by both him and his it's not a $5 million contract, it's a $5 million signing bonus, so even better. Right.
Melvin Gordon could play week 15 against the Chiefs, and that's I think what they're trying to line him up for, because they're still in this playoff hunt, or division hunt, I should say.
Yep. Yeah. T.Y. and Reese Fountain are both active. Yes, Alex. Danny wants to know Robert Woods, T.Y. Hilton, 1.25 PPR.
Woods is going to catch the Bears' best cornerback out of the slot there, at least in my opinion.
Bryce Callahan has been fantastic all season.
Even though he's banged up, I think you got to go Hilton. Hilton, I don't know what it is, but like almost every single year his best games come against the Texans, just like without fail. So with multiple weapons missing in Indy and Hilton having their number, I like that matchup there.
All right, we got more questions running in. Alex wants to know full PPR, Justin Jackson or Joe Mixon. It's Joe Mixon for me. As much as I like Justin Jackson, I think that if Eckler can perform or looks even decent doing it, that there's a scenario where
Jackson doesn't see that much work.
A lot of work. So I am starting Justin Jackson in a place, but Joe Mixon's just so much more of an insulated volume type of play that I'm more comfortable with him.
Especially in full point PPR, where Mixon should see at least a decent amount of pass catching work this week. At least I hope so. Dylan says full PPR. I can still remember when I used to have James Conner and Kareem Hunt. Those were the days.
I need 2 running backs and a flex out of this ragtag bunch. Jalen Samuels, Gus Edwards, LeGarrette Blount, Jeff Wilson, or Curtis Samuel.
So Curtis Samuel could be the flex.
Right.
I think you're going to rock the Gus bus this week against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think you're going to run Blunt against the Cardinals, and I think Samuels is the flex.
Yeah, the first 3 you listed are the first 3 I would start. I like the matchups. Ryan, we got you, buddy. Just calm down for a second. We'll get you. Or you're up next, pal. So, yeah, those first 3 you mentioned, though, it's good matchups, good volume. Wilson against Denver is a little bit more. Samuel is pretty big play dependent, but I really do like the matchups of your first 3 there. And Ryan would like to know Nick Chubb or assuming Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I would assume it. I'm assuming we're not switching to baseball.
Or cornerbacks.
Or cornerbacks. I'm going to Adam Jones.
Yeah, I'm also going Aaron Jones on that one. It's a fantastic matchup against Atlanta, and they're going to utilize him. He's going to be at least in that 15 carry range. He's been fantastic all season.
Yeah, both are top 10 for me, but I think Jones is almost top 5 this week.
Yep, absolutely. Austin would like to know Jimmy Graham or Trey Burton. There's a couple questions here, so let's just one by one. Graham or Burton?
Graham, I don't want to touch Burton. He's a perma timeout after how he's played me this season.
Agreed completely. Ware or Richard, both in full PPR?
I
actually like Richard.
Yeah, Richard.
He's been getting about 7 to 8 targets a game. He's been very efficient with those as far as his receptions. So I think in pass volume alone, he's a pretty good start. And then Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield. We absolutely love Baker Mayfield this week against the Carolina defense that is giving up shit to quarter.
Well, I kind of like Jackson this week too. So, but yeah, it is Mayfield, but it's close.
Dan and I know Dan's not here, but Dan and I are both out of the stratosphere on Mayfield this week.
Alex wants to know Broncos defense or Seahawks defense. For me, I'm going Broncos against the 49ers.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Then Alex also wants to know Jameis Winston or Lamar Jackson this week.
Jameis, I think. Hold on. Ravens get the Chiefs. That one's close for me.
Yeah, they get the Saints at home.
God. You know what? Probably Lamar. Just because I'm going to flip on that. I'm probably going to say Lamar just because of the rushing upside and the floor that gives you. The Saints' defense has been playing much, much better over the last couple weeks, and I think that Jameis could end up closer to his floor. So I'd take Lamar, actually.
Yeah, Jackson's definitely way, way safer. I'm starting Winston in a couple places, but I'm not. I could see that being a trapdoor game where he ends up like at 8 points.
Yep.
Dylan wants to know Dak or Josh Allen in 6-point passing touchdown.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Against the Jets, he's going to just torch them.
Yep. He's going to run all over them, literally, and I think that you're probably going to be locked in for another 1 to 2 passing touchdowns just to go on top of that. It's Lamar Jackson plus at this point.
Yeah, he's got, 225 rushing yards over the last 2 games or something?
Yep. Susan would like to know, in full PPR, Watson, Winston, does rain affect the game in Tampa, Michelle, and then Michelle or Eckler? So, Watson or Winston, the answer to that is Watson for me. Does rain affect the game in Tampa? It's supposed to clear up right before it starts. The field's going to be soggy, but Tampa is not traditionally one that you typically hear a lot about field conditions being terrible in wet weather. It's not Miami. It's not Chicago. So
Yeah, I think it should be fine.
I think it'll be okay.
But I'm still taking Watson just because he's so much safer. And looking at the, I've heard on another show, as a Fantasy Football Weekly, they were talking about the schedules that the Colts defenses face for quarterbacks, where they've been kind of okay, but they have had the easiest freaking schedule when it comes to quarterbacks. They've caught like Nathan Peterman and basically all the AFC South teams have had just the easiest quarterback schedule. So I expect Watson to be fine in this game. He should easily get probably at least 2 touchdowns. He might get you 3.
Sure. And then her other question was Michelle or Eckler?
Michelle.
Sonny Michelle for me, too.
Not even, like, Michelle is a running back 1 for me this week.
Okay. Jameis Winston or Andrew Luck in PPR? Luck for me.
Similar to the point I made about the Colts, the Texans have also had a super easy quarterback schedule, so I expect Luck to be fine. Mariota just went for, I think, 230-2 against him the other week.
I won't watch Allen play, but sounds good.
He's actually kind of fun to watch.
He is pretty fun to watch.
I wouldn't want him as my quarterback because half the time when he's making plays, I'm having a heart attack if I was this fan. But so sorry, Buffalo fans. But
yeah, PPR: Sterling Shepard, Allen Robinson, or Dante Pettis. That's easily Sterling Shepard for me with no Odell.
Yeah, in the full PPR especially, unless it's like you get big play bonuses or something. But yeah, he should get 10+ targets this week, so that should be enough to insulate his floor.
Yep, the Bears have been spreading the ball out, even though it's a good matchup against for their passing game. They aren't really targeting the hell out of any one receiver, and Goodwin's playing, so that hurts Pettis a decent amount for me. Ebron or Ingram in PPR.
Ebron.
It's
all about the Ebron.
It's a lot of Eric Ebron in that one, although that is closer now without Odell, but it's still Ebron. Bears or Rams defense. Such a tough week. Yeah, it is. Bears defense, Rams defense.
Give me the Bears at home.
Yeah.
I'll take the home team.
Yep, the Bears have been the better defense over the stretch, even though it's a Rams offense. They're playing in cold. That's been very good. They're playing in cold weather. We saw the Chiefs commit.
I don't think it's supposed to be wetter weather.
No, weather. Exactly. It's just going to be cold there. But we did see the Chiefs force some turnovers or cause some turnovers against the Rams. Bears are a much better team than the Chiefs at doing that. So as much as I've tried to steer away from the Bears defense as a heavy investor in them, you're okay starting them.
Surprise news. My tight end start of the week, Dan Arnold, is inactive.
Oh, wow.
So anyone who picked him up, I apologize. I had not heard anything about that he may not be going.
I had not seen him on an injury report or anything either, so that's very weird. Danny would like to know Bills defense or Texans defense?
Okay, Bills have the Jets, Texans have the Colts. Give me the Bills. They crushed them on the road just a few weeks ago. Now they're at home.
Yeah. And then Alex asked on that defense question for Bears or Rams, what was on the waiver? The response was Lions, Steelers, Jets.
Steelers.
Get the Steelers.
Yeah.
If you got the Steelers on your waiver wire, go grab them. I know you can't possibly know this for sure, but please tell me Odell will be back next week. Have him in a league. I'm on bye. It was a late decision to make him inactive.
And reportedly, it's not a quad strain; it's a quad bruise. So it was just like it was limiting muscle motion. That should heal up in time for next week.
There's a better chance than not that he goes next week. So
yeah, we haven't gotten a ton of details with it being such a late dropping thing. Hopefully, by early next week, we have some more information for you, Dylan. But at the moment, my guess would be yes.
Okay. We got to pick 3. Josh Gordon, Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, T.Y. Hilton, Eric Ebron. Josh Gordon with no Xavier Howard.
Cooper.
Amari Cooper. And then...
Is it T.Y. or Ebron for the third?
T.Y. probably. I love Ebron. I'm going to take the wide receiver over the tight end 10 out of 10 times.
My only hesitation is T.Y. is banged up a bit, and Ebron's fine. So the one angle is if a 0 would absolutely kill you, like you have no chance of winning if you pull a 0 and you need the floor, that's when you'd may want to consider Ebron because he's going to be significantly safer than Hilton, but Hilton is definitely the more upside play. So if it's a situation where if you can have a dud game from T.Y., if he re-aggravates his injury early or something, then yes, I'd go T.Y. If you can't then I might, if you need that safety, then I would go Coop, Gordon, and Ebron.
Yep. Alex, half PPR, pick 3, Michelle, Fitzgerald, Ridley, Sutton. Sutton, Michelle, Ridley for me.
I mean, Michelle is obvious. I don't even have to debate that one. It's the pick 2 of the other 3 that I'm going to have to think about for a moment. I think you have to start Ridley this week. It's an excellent matchup for him.
Yeah, it's a fantastic matchup for Ridley. And then I think Sutton being the one in really only for...
Yeah, but so is Fitzgerald.
Denver.
And he's not going to catch Slay in the slot.
Give me Case Keenum over Josh Rosen, though, too.
Yeah.
And the Broncos have the 49ers.
Yeah, I'll go Ridley Sutton with Michelle. But for sure, Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle's the easy answer there.
All right. Any more
I'm
news?
Trying to fill out a DFS lineup right now, too. I forgot to do that this morning. No problem. I haven't seen anything else news-wise.
Sammy Watkins is officially declared inactive. No big surprise there.
Yeah, that was expected.
Ingram is active. QT is inactive.
And what defense do I want in this?
Crowell is active.
Crowell being active was something I was watching because that is a bit better of a matchup for him. So
yeah, it would have been real nice if you could have grabbed McGuire if Crow was out.
Right. Saw somebody playing. Actually, that brings up a good point too. By the way, playing defense in these scenarios with your bench spots and your waiver claims.
Yeah. Yeah. If you see anybody who's declared inactive that somebody owns in your playoff matchup, go and grab their backup immediately, even if you're not going to start them.
Yeah, for example, with Odell being inactive in some shallower leagues without performing, Sterling Shepard may have been dropped. You're going to want to go grab him even if you don't plan on starting him because you're going to keep him out of the Odell owner's hands.
Yep. I'm trying to think if anyone else that was announced inactive who you could play defense on. I doubt Thomas was available, so QT didn't really matter for that regard.
Right. Crunchy Tacos White, 2 in standard. Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Robert Woods, Adam Humphries.
In standard. Cooper would be my 1 pick out of that for a standard league.
Cooper and Godwin for me. I love Adam Humphries. I think Godwin is still the better red zone option, though, with it being a standard league. Standard league, you're chasing touchdowns. I don't necessarily love Woods against Callahan. Lord knows what the Bears are going to do down by the goal line because it's different every week.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Cooper and Godwin a lot this week. It's Woods or Godwin is my debate. But yeah, I think I like Cooper Godwin. I think they have a ton of upside.
All right, standard league. Would you play Thielen and Diggs together?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happily.
We don't steer away. It's like Thielen, Diggs, Juju, Brown. We don't mind stacking those 2 combinations on really any given week.
Yeah, there is some inherent risk with it because if the Vikings just lay a complete egg, you might be in some trouble.
Cousins has a bad game, so it's a little bit riskier in playoffs because there are scenarios where they both dud. But
there's been weeks where Thielen and Diggs stack up for 60 points. So
yep. However, Sutton, Shepard, Ware at flex. If so, Sutton, Shepard, or Ware at flex. It's between Sutton and Shepard for me. I'm not... Probably Sutton in a standard league.
Yeah, I think he's more likely to score than Shepard, so I agree. Sutton. In half or full point PPR, it would have been Shepard, but...
But with it being standard, you're going Sutton because you're going for the touchdown there.
Agreed.
Screw it, I'm going to throw the Chargers defense out there. DFS. I was late on this.
All right. My leagues are all set and ready to go. No asking for friends this week.
Nope, I don't have any of those.
Dropping from like 13 leagues that I'm active in to like 8 has really helped.
Yeah, that is the other thing. Back on the tip train too. If I'm out of the playoffs in a league, I don't want to say if I'm playing for nothing, I'm going to kind of sit out on some of the waiver wire stuff. I know you're supposed to play to keep winning, and I'm going to set my lineups every week. but I'm gonna leave some of those waiver wire guys to, unless I just really want to screw with somebody. I'm gonna leave some of those waiver wire guys
Yeah.
for the teams that are still in it, just as an etiquette thing. I'm not gonna go out and chase high quality waiver claims when I'm not competing for anything.
Yep. Yeah, just as a quick note on that too. That's one thing I've really kind of liked about being on a bunch of MFL platforms. Is they don't have consolation brackets set up on these because you have to manually set it up if you want it, unlike ESPN or Yahoo that auto does it. So literally, if you're out of the playoffs, you're done. You have nothing left to play for. You're just on a perma buy.
Yep.
And that's kind of nice. It's like, okay, I don't have to think about this league anymore. I'm out. I'm done. So I'd rather still be in and playing, obviously, but it's kind of a nice bonus. Is like that's one league I can cross off my list and not worry about.
Exactly. Evan has one more question: Broncos or Steelers defense this week? Steelers against Oakland. Broncos against Steelers. Actually, Nick Mullins is the guy who the Broncos are facing. Is the guy I threw out as kind of my start of the week. The Broncos have been struggling a decent amount against quarterbacks, and really their defense has been struggling. Losing Chris Harris is a big blow to them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this defense looks with no Chris Harris this week on a full week of practice. But yeah, I could see that for sure becoming an issue.
Yeah, so Steelers to me are just a bit of a safer play.
Yeah, I'd picked up the Broncos defense in a few places to specifically play them this week against San Francisco, but then when the injury happened, I've been shying away from them.
Mm-hmm. One player, especially in the secondary, does make that big of a difference. We saw when Talib went down for Los Angeles.
Yeah, a really good cornerback or a really good pass rusher can just decimate a defense's game plans.
Yeah, because if you can't cover downfield, that kills the pass rush. It kills their turnover ability. Kills a lot of things. Any more late breaking news? I think we probably should talk about the Odell thing maybe a little bit more. I know we kind of casually mentioned him being injured, but that does bump up Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram a lot. Mm-hmm. They're both suitable replacements. It's still a plus matchup. So no Odell doesn't really hurt. Deonta Foreman was a healthy scratch if you were looking at the healthy scratch if you were looking at that versus the Colts. Charcandrick West, Kelvin Benjamin, both expected inactives for the Chiefs.
Yep.
So Chris Conley for another week anyway in Kansas City. Maybe. I don't know. They're facing the Ravens, so I'm not in love with that. But if you need somebody, it's not a bad throw.
Mm-hmm. Any players you might be looking to stash now that players are inactive? You can start moving players into IR slots.
For the rest of the season?
Or just like, there's only 2 weeks left, so dart throws you might be grabbing just in case something happens. Like I'm looking at one league, I may try to pick up like Kenneth Dixon just in case anything happened to Gus Edwards.
Legitimately asking for a friend, Spencer Ware or Jeff Wilson in half PPR.
With Wilson.
Yep, I think Wilson gets all the volume there, and that's really the reason for it. And I don't like Spencer Ware's matchup, but
yep.
Against the Ravens, that's a tough one. So Jeff Wilson, go for it.
Yep.
In a 12-man PPR league, need some help. Tyler Lockett, Zay Jones, or Deshaun Hamilton.
And I believe that's a new user, so.
Yep. First off, welcome.
Welcome.
Second off, Zay Jones. I've been all over Zay Jones ever since they got Kelvin Benjamin and Reuben Foster.
Yeah, it's
a good matchup. I'm not big on Lockett this week.
So Trey Waynes is not going to play, so that does help Lockett.
It does.
That makes it a lot closer than it would have been if Waynes was going to play. But I am still going to lean Jones, especially because it's a full point PPR league, whereas Lockett usually gets like 3 targets.
Yep, exactly. And Deshaun Hamilton's a guy that is a rookie. We really liked him. We liked his tape. We liked him coming out, but he hasn't had to show it yet this year. So
yeah,
in a playoff scenario, give me the guy that's done it for the last couple of weeks versus a guy that's having his first chance to do it.
Yeah, I think Deshaun could come out and have a real nice game here, but I'm not plugging him in anywhere because I don't want to risk it.
Ryan needs a flex. Standard league: Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson, Spencer Ware, Josh Gordon. Also haven't seen his name before. So.
Yep, welcome. With no Xavier Howard, I think it's Josh Gordon.
I think it is Josh Gordon also with no Xavier Howard. The problem with Eckler and Jackson that we've kind of talked about a bit today is that there are scenarios where it's probably going to be a hot hand approach, basically. And last week, the hot hand at the end of the game was Justin Jackson. Eckler didn't really do a whole lot, but we've also seen Eckler be very, very good. So I'm not really where I see a scenario where both of them are startable. It's too much of a crapshoot for me, especially when you've got a guy like Josh Gordon, who I think is going to have a very, very good week. Spencer Ware against the Ravens is been a hot sit for us all week.
Yeah, Ware is the for sure the fourth in that list.
We have not answered Spencer Ware to a question yet.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a bad one for us. Like maybe like Ware versus Doug Martin. I might consider him.
I still started Doug Martin.
You had that decision.
Not exactly, but I did have a very similarly ranked decision.
Deontay Foreman is going to still be inactive this week. He's not making his debut yet for this season.
Yeah, he's more of a guy to watch in the playoffs.
Yeah, plan for next year type play.
Yep.
Come on, ESPN. Flag Watkins is out, so I can stash him in IR.
Would you go Justin Jackson or Austin Eckler?
If I'm picking just between the two, I'm going Jackson.
Yeah, Pat suck in Miami. Yeah, I would also go Justin Jackson. He looked like the better runner. And we were doing a rookie review. We really liked his tape. He's very shifty. He's very patient.
And his lucidness scores were off the fucking charts.
Yeah, super elusive. As long as he gets touches, I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a concern that he may not necessarily get as many touches as you're hoping for.
Yep, no problem. And yeah, the Patriots do traditionally suck in Miami. The only reason that Josh Gordon's a hot start for us is the absence of Xavier Howard. He's been a lockdown corner all season, and you take him out of the equation, they really don't have anything behind him. And with that level of talent, even with the Patriots track record, Miami, with Brady having a down season, I still think there's a lot of upside to Josh Gordon.
Yep, Doxson is going to play, but I wouldn't recommend starting him anyway just because it's just such an awful situation right now with Mark Sanchez as their quarterback.
Mark Sanchez is just an awful injury. Yep.
All right. Any more questions, guys? We're coming about the 11 o'clock time, and this is when we usually start to consider wrapping up. So keep those questions in coming. I don't see any more real breaking news that we need to discuss.
Nope, not at the moment. As always, if you think of something else after we sign off here, feel free to tweet at us.
Should we talk Doug Baldwin's strategy with him being a game-time decision Monday night?
Yes. Your Doug Baldwin strategy is essentially own David Moore if he's available, stash him,
or you're benching Baldwin.
You're benching Baldwin if you've got a better option. Which Doug Baldwin has not been an otherworldly, not replaceable starter, so you should have something at least similar. But if you don't, if your bench is shallow, if you're in a very deep league and David Moore's available, he's your stash if you think if you need a Baldwin replacement level player.
Yep. Because they're going to take this 2 game time is what they said. So if you're a Baldwin owner, you need another option or you can't consider him this week.
Playing Pettis and benching Baldwin, yeah, I can see the argument for that, Alex. Pettis has been way better when Goodwin does not play, but with Garcon out too and a plus matchup, I think that they still get worse. Would you rather play Moore or Baldwin?
He's saying, would you rather play the Seattle stack, playing Baldwin if he's active, or Moore if he's not, or would you rather play Pettis? I just might rather play Pettis in a vacuum, probably on a field too, but definitely in a vacuum.
Yeah, you may as well.
Because Pettis should run out of the slot with no Garcon, and so he's not going to catch Chris Harris. He's going to get their backup cornerback there. So I like his matchup this week. And I mentioned when I was previewing that game that I actually may prefer Pettis over Goodwin this week.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions, guys?
No problem. All right. You want to go ahead and wrap this up, sign this off? I got a hotel to go check out of before I head out to Eddie's.
Yep, keep the questions rolling in. If you got any more, at BeerfieldFF on Twitter, just tag us in the questions. I usually give it one more check around 11:30, 11:45 and get you guys some answers. You can message us individually. If you want to bother Dan at work, it is at 30BFF with 2 Fs. Got Christopher Hopper to my left.
At Hot BFF with 2 Ps.
I am at Nick Sparts. We'll be back Monday, probably around 6:30 to go ahead and recap everything that happened in the Sunday games, get you guys all prepped to start getting ready for week 2 of the playoffs. Good luck in all your matchups. I hope you guys can advance to in all your playoff matchups, unless you guys are playing each other, in which case I don't pick favorites. And so we are Beer Fueled Fantasy Football, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Beer Fueled Fantasy Football?
Yes, I don't know why I double stacked that.
I don't know why you didn't either.
All right, later, guys.
Good luck. See you guys.